Coming up on AgweekTV, we're at Farmfest in Redwood County, Minnesota, with updates on the Farm Bill, top policy issues, and markets. North Dakota's Ag Commissioner wants more changes to dicamba labeling. And in part 3 of our series on the changing face of ag, we'll talk to a woman forced to take over the operation after her husband's suicide. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Michelle Rook. Our show comes to you this week from Farmfest in Redwood County, Minnesota. For more than 25 years, this show has been held here at the 50-acre Gilfillan Estate. It is home to one of the largest farm shows in Minnesota, showcasing one of the largest industries, agriculture. The 3-day event hosts over 30,000 attendees and close to 500 companies. The show features the latest technological advances, field demos, along with educational and political forums.
We've had a long run here in Redwood Falls. It's a great location. We're in the heart of major agriculture here in the state of Minnesota, so it's a great place to bring all this technology and all this innovation that we have for Farmfest to farmers.
Some of the newest additions to the show this year included an upgrade to the Minnesota Cattlemen's Beef booth and an Ag Innovation Center. However, the success of the show has always been the chance for farmers to come together to network and talk about ag issues. Farmers here at Farmfest and across the country are closely watching the progress of the Farm Bill, especially now that the Conference Committee has been named. That conference includes 9 members from the Senate, 47 members from the House. We talked to Ag Committee members as well as farm group leaders about how these 2 versions of the Farm Bill will be melded into one. The differences in the bills include payment limits and CRP payment and acreage caps. But House Ag Ranking Member Colin Peterson says the key is SNAP reform.
The biggest stumbling block, if we don't get a bill, is because of food stamps. The Senate's not going to do what the House wants. And I told Conaway that 2 months ago.
However, he says the principals have agreed to compromise.
The 4 of us have all, made a commitment that we're going to try to figure out how to resolve our differences and get this done.
Farm group leaders say lawmakers are motivated to reach an agreement with it being an election year.
The fact that the Majority Leader McConnell in the Senate is on the conference, he put himself on the conference committee. He's got a big interest in getting this farm bill done.
There's also a sense of urgency with the current economic crisis in agriculture.
I mean, with the uncertainty with all the tariffs and everything else that's going on, we need the certainty that we have a farm bill and we know what it's going to be, so we can, when we go to the bank, at least they know they're going to have crop insurance in place. Everything's in place.
Plus, conference members like Tim Walz are also optimistic about the outcome.
I think we're going to end up looking pretty much similar to the Senate version. I think we can get 90 to 100 Democrats on that, bring it back over to the House, and get this thing passed in September.
And the hope is the president will sign the bill even if there aren't sufficient reforms. The goal of the conference committee is to get a farm bill past the president's desk before the old legislation runs out on September 30th. Now, beyond the farm bill, farm groups are also working on other policy issues, especially after Congress reconvenes for the fall session. We talked to some of the top leaders here in Minnesota about what those priorities will look like. As you would expect, resolving the trade war tops the policy agenda for Minnesota soybean.
Obviously, the slowing of the marketplace isn't good for anybody. And as we've heard from our international buyers, it's not good for them either.
Meanwhile, corn and pork producers are hopeful for a NAFTA agreement by fall.
But hopefully we can get something resolved with Mexico and Canada, get NAFTA done. I mean, Mexico is such a huge buyer of corn and pork.
Everything we're hearing is that things are at least moving in more of a positive direction, especially with Mexico. Now, there were a couple months there where literally nothing was going on, so to even have them back at the table to be working on things, I think is extremely positive.
And other organizations are eyeing regulatory changes.
We've been continually fighting for reform in the Endangered Species Act. We've got a lot of producers in northern Minnesota that are continuing to struggle all the time, having to deal with the timber wolves and not being able to protect their livelihood.
We've got to continue to work on ag labor reform. If we don't get something done this Congress, we lose Chairman Goodlatte as a great champion for ag labor. We'll be starting all over again. Continue to work on regulatory reform.
Healthcare is going to be high on our priority list. Renewable fuels is always high on our priority list because, it's a way to use a lot of corn up.
So it will be another busy fall for Minnesota farmers lobbying on Capitol Hill. The labeling rules for dicamba in North Dakota seem to be reducing dicamba drift damage. Last year there were 37 formal complaints. This year only 44, but with more farmers using the technology. Now North Dakota's Ag Commissioner says he wants to change the label and allow more flexibility for farmers in terms of the rate that they use. And he says if EPA doesn't make the change, he will do it on a state level. Mikkel Pates has more.
We haven't had problems with it moving off target.
North Dakota Ag Commissioner Doug Goring says there may be fewer problems with dicamba drift damage this year because of new label changes that went into place earlier this season and more rain. But Goring has asked the EPA to make some changes if it approves a new federal label.
I get the fact that EPA can't design a one-size-fits-all label for the United States. They're going to construct and put the framework together that's going to kind of cover probably the majority.
For example, the EPA calls for 1/2 pound per acre of dicamba, in part to head off herbicide resistance.
That's like killing a mosquito with a sledgehammer. We don't need that much, at least not in the northern plains. We need to offer flexibility. We need to allow choices to be made in the field according to the issues you have to deal with.
We're starting to see some Roundup resistance out here.
Jade Renshaw and her family are some of the few who grow soybeans in western North Dakota. Dicamba has not been commonly used in that part of the state, but she finds it a very useful tool.
The weeds are a never-ending problem out here, and anything that can give us another tool in our toolbox to help combat that problem looks good to us.
Renshaw and her brother Grant are preparing to take over the family farm, so they hope everyone follows the rules so they can continue to use and sell this technology.
I think a lot of with the new restrictions and new guidelines that are in place, and there's also we learned a few things. I think we did a lot better job overall as a farming community.
We want to make sure that what we're doing isn't going to affect our neighbors and hope for the best for everybody.
Near Belfield, North Dakota, this is Mikkel Pates for AgWeek.
Up next on AgweekTV, we'll find out what's on the minds of farmers here at Farmfest, and we'll have market analysis.
My name's Joel Kaler, owner-operator of Kaler Farms in Lidgerwood, North Dakota. We make a patented product called a corn stalk guide. Helps guide corn stalks into the grabs and the chains a lot smoother without losing corn. The corn stalk, when it comes off of our product, it's already on the gathering chain instead of being able to hit that idler. Our product will keep all the wear off the snout and get it to come into the head smoother without bouncing.
Giving farmers access to data from the elevator right in their pocket. Helping them make better decisions. No more keeping track of paper scale tickets. Innovation. It's always been a part of the farming culture. Integrating directly with elevators to give growers real-time information, all through a mobile app. Your elevator, powered by Bushel.
When harvest comes around, time is precious and you don't have a moment to waste. North Star Ag offers the Lofness GrainLogix grain bag loader to deliver versatile grain storage performance load after load. Lofness's user-friendly grain baggers are easy to load and unload, perfect to get your harvest in the bag. North Star Ag also sells a variety of Valmar spreaders, the leader in air boom delivery, and is a full-service Meridian hopper bin dealer. Visit NorthstarAg.com to see our complete new and used equipment inventory or give us a call.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has a storage solution for you with a wide variety of bin options and accessories, along with site planning and superior customer service. Plus, from top to bottom, we offer the industry's best bins and warranties to protect your products and your grain storage investment. Get superior quality, protection, and reliability with generations of experience and dependability. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
AgweekTV, presented by Kaler Farms.
Joining us with market analysis is Kent Beadle, and we're going to talk about some marketing strategies as we go into harvest, especially soybeans. We're so undervalued. What should producers do? Is this a storage kind of year?
Yeah, well, we believe that producers should store soybeans, not just because of the futures price, but because basis levels in the upper Midwest are going to be very, very poor until we get an agreement with the Chinese. Right now we're seeing $1.30, $1.40 under. So what we think the producer should do is make some room, maybe take some space that he was going to dedicate to corn and actually store beans and sell corn, because corn basis levels have actually been pretty good for new crop relative to many other years.
So what levels are you looking at making those sales on corn?
Making sales in the upper Midwest at 35, 40 under the board. Those are pretty good basis levels for this time of the year, maybe even 50 or 60 under in western Minnesota or North Dakota. And then not pricing the futures yet. We still think there's some upside in the futures.
Because we basically put a low in the corn market, you think, and we have good demand to pull us through and get higher prices.
Tightest world stocks to use since 1973, 1974. And we think that's going to make for some good, volatile, and market opportunities for producers this winter, next spring.
And not only that, but the corn market's been getting help from the wheat market. And what's your marketing strategy with wheat here? There are some good pricing opportunities.
Yeah, we've had a great rally in wheat, and it's harvest time in North Dakota, and we think this is a nice opportunity for producers to maybe sell a little bit more of that wheat. Maybe if they were going to store wheat, maybe they'll store soybeans and sell some wheat. This is a good opportunity for them to do that.
Well, thanks for joining us, Kent. And that is our market analysis. You can hear more of our extended conversation at agweek.com. One of the great things about shows like Farmfest is the opportunity for us to talk to farmers from all over the region. Reporter Jenny Schleck joins us, and you had the opportunity to do just that.
I did, Michelle. There are a bunch of hot button issues in agriculture right now. Here's what some of the folks at Farmfest told us were the #1 issues on their minds when it comes to ag.
Well, the trade deal is just a terrible thing. It seems like every time they do something, it's on the backs of the farmers.
Probably profitability in the dairy industry. There's hardly any promotions or anything to do with the young farmers or helping a young farmer get started. And it's, if you're not a big corporation or a big farmer that's grown up in it, you're SOL.
The low milk price right now for us, and then the second is, of course, the health insurance issue.
Right now it's trade for the most part. We've got a lot of, let's just say turmoil right now. I'd like to see people actually sit down at a table and have a decent discussion instead of throwing bombs across the table at each other, which, as long as politics are involved, that's not likely going to happen. But there needs to be some common sense brought back into things.
I'm hoping that they get the tariffs straightened out so that it works both ways for all countries.
These issues are just going to magnify as we get into harvest and the new crop starts coming in.
Thanks so much for that report, Jenny. Up next on AgweekTV, on our Changing Faces of Ag series, meet a woman running her family farm after tragedy left her in charge. But first, your agri-weather outlook for the week.
I'm 1 pony, 130, 130, 55, once around the block, 212 pipe right here, now having time's up. So
if you're thinking about selling a piece of land, or you're looking to sell some farm equipment, or if you're thinking about a retirement or involved in an estate, give us a call. We'll sit down and tell you all about the Steffes way. We think it's a good way. That's how we approach it. If any of those are in your plans, give us a call or go to steffesgroup.com. Learn all about us. Hope to hear from you.
Intelligent farming means more crop from every acre. That starts with smart machines and precision application. Introducing the new Rogator C-Series from Challenger, featuring a newer, smarter, more precise way to apply fertilizers and nutrients, more accurately and more efficiently than ever before, resulting in less overlap and less crop damage, all to make you more productive and more profitable. To find out more, contact Butler Machinery today.
Micro Essentials is a premium phosphate product. It's a dry granular product. The main difference with a Micro Essentials type product is you have a homogeneous granule where the nitrogen, the sulfur, the phosphorus, and in this case the zinc is all in one granule. If you ever have a desire or a need to learn more about what does sulfur do within a soybean plant, what does the potassium do for the corn crop, we have microessentials.com. We also have a great resource, cropnutrition.com.
If you get right down to it, what's a farmer's job? Well, farmer's job is to feed people. Farmers collectively, our job is to feed the world. At Peterson Farm Seed, we get to have a little bit bigger picture right in our region. We get to help those farmers that we work with increase their productivity, increase the yields that they get on their farms, and as a result, more people can eat.
AgweekTV Soy Insight, brought to you by the North Dakota Soybean Council.
Welcome back. The North Central Soybean Research Program met in Fargo, North Dakota this week. This is a group of 12 state soybean councils in the upper Midwest that collaborate with universities and extension on research to improve yields and profits. The group visited some key North Dakota production research programs, including the Share Farm near Morton and the NDSU greenhouse.
We have a farmer board, soybean farmers, and so they're focused very much on working with university researchers, some company folks, to develop and deploy the best genetics for soybean yield, soybean quality, disease resistance, resistance to abiotic stresses like iron deficiency, chlorosis, and some other problems that farmers face in producing soybeans. I think the research that these farmers fund with their checkoff dollars is moving the industry forward. I think it's helping farmers in the short term and the long term. I think it provides a really good pipeline of new people and technologies and tools to the companies that are developing crop protection products and seed and various ways for farmers to produce a more abundant, higher quality, sustainable soybean crop.
The North Central Soybean Research Program is funded by checkoff organizations in the 12 member states. This week's Crop Stop takes us to War Road in far northern Minnesota. Drew Parsley is watching once promising crops deteriorate daily because of a lack of rain.
Since we started seeding about the 25th of April, we haven't had 2 inches of rain on half of our farm total. And some of the farm got maybe a little more, maybe up to 3 inches. So it's super dry, but honestly on a good year up here, it's a dry year, but there is a point where the crops are going to have some rain. And our barley and I think the wheats and the grass seeds all kind of made it because they're living off that early moisture. But the soybeans are just beautiful, but they're going backwards. There might have been one that just died here while we're talking, so we need a rain now.
Soybeans, spring wheat, and barley are the top crops in Roseau County, but the turf grass seed for lawns and golf courses is also a major crop there. Here's your agri-weather outlook for the week.
I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist Jared Piepenberg. This past week has been very hot for most of the northern plains. That's all due to this ridge. It's been kind of blocked up here just to our west, and eventually this will move a little bit farther toward the east as we head throughout the week. We're going to be between the southern jet stream and the northern jet stream here, and that's actually going to keep our pattern fairly quiet as we head throughout the week ahead. Low rain chances and temperatures just a little bit above average. There are some hints of maybe a couple days we get some more heat out there. Checking out the drought monitor, just a few pockets of some dry to moderate drought out across northern Minnesota, parts of the Dakotas, as well as northern parts of Montana. So things have been improving a little bit around here, but farther down toward the south, there are some places with exceptional drought, and parts of the southern plains even having that severe drought still in place, and still dealing with some fire weather across the southwest to be expected. All right, precipitation coming up here this week for the northern plains, parts of the Dakotas into Minnesota. Things are going to be a little bit on the dry side. We're going to have small rain chances coming up here for us. Better chances will be to the east, parts of the Great Lakes into the New England area, as well as the southern plains and even parts of the Four Corners region. So that will be a little bit better for them to improve on how dry it has been. Temperatures go inside with that. Below average temperatures expected across the south. We're going to just be a little bit above average, so consider it warm here for the upcoming week. Maybe not as hot as what we had here over the past week or so. And that warm weather will extend across the Great Lakes to the New England area, but down across the southern plains. A little break from the triple-digit heat can be expected here with the weather coming up here this week. So to recap things, they're going to have small rain chances coming up here this week. Most of the precipitation is just going to be along some very weak fronts, and it looks like temperatures will still just stay a little bit above average. Won't be quite as hot as the past week, and August stays pretty warm with just those small rain chances. Once again, I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist Jared Piepenberg here for Ag Week.
There's something for everyone at Dakota Fest, August 21st, 22nd, and 23rd in Mitchell, South Dakota, featuring over 500 suppliers, education sessions from SCSU Extension, and don't miss Chad Greenway speak on Tuesday. Plus, pig races are back at the all-new Farm Bureau Financial Services Rural Lifestyle Pavilion. For discounted admission and to download the show app, visit dakotafest.com today. Dakota Fest is sponsored by South Dakota State University Extension, Farm Credit Services of America, and Farm Bureau Financial Services.
DTE is your headquarters for flatbeds and service bodies for your truck. Whether you need to haul bales, heavy commercial equipment, or take every tool with you, DTE has the truck equipment you need. We have over 200 units on hand, or will custom build a flatbed or service body on your truck.
Like this Dewey's bale bed with dual lift cylinder arms. Lift, load, and handle your bales with ease.
When you need help at the farm, your business, or in the oil patch, count on DTE. DTE, let us build a truck for you.
Dig, lay, and bury drain tile all in one pass with the Crary Tile Pro Plow. The Crary Tile Pro Plow lays tile up to 7 feet deep with boot sizes of 4 to 12 inches. Advantages of installing drain tile to your field provides increased overall yield, improved soil moisture levels, and controls soil erosion. It pays to tile with a Crary Tile Pro. To locate a dealer near you, visit www.crarytilepro.com.
Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley source for Batco. Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley Batco dealer.
Advanced Grain Handling is your regional dealer for grain handler dryers, bins, and accessories. With Grain Handler's continuous mixed flow drying systems, you're capable of high levels of grain dryer efficiency on all types of grain, including seed grain. Advanced Grain Handling also carries West Steel's quality stainless steel products for on-farm and commercial grain storage solutions. Advanced Grain Handling has licensed and trained service techs and a licensed electrical shop. Get a hold of Chad Kylo to find the perfect solution for your farm.
The AgweekTV Ag Tech Minute is brought to you by Bushel.
Growers are using technology more and more in their operations to improve their profits. In this week's Ag Tech Minute, we take a look at an app from the North Dakota Ag Weather Network that's helping producers with troublesome temperature inversions.
NDON is the North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network. 101 weather stations in eastern Montana, northwestern Minnesota, with a vast majority of them in the state of North Dakota. So often weather is a reactive event. We're trying to make it proactive. It's an NDON app, and if there's an inversion in place, it will send out an alert and a color. If you're colorblind, that alert's there, and if you're not colorblind, you can see the color change. Inversions are very important, not only for dicamba, but spraying. We have inversion sensors now at 39 of our 101 weather stations. We have a sensor here and another sensor a little bit higher up that we're just measuring the difference in temperature, because all an inversion means is it's warmer up here than it is down here. The most important element of the app is really just to send you a notification that there's an inversion in place at that station. And so then you know, so if you happen to be out spraying in the evening, it will tell you. And then you can start monitoring how strong it is, when maybe you should just be pulling in and done for the evening.
For the past few weeks, Jonathan Knutson has been introducing us to the changing faces of agriculture in the Midwest. On this week's final installment, he talks to Teresa Gilly, a farm wife who was forced to take over the operation when her husband died by suicide.
Women are playing a more diverse role in agriculture. Usually it's because they want to, but sometimes it's because they have to. Teresa Gilly has to.
You learn to live with the grief and how you deal with it. Went through my anger, and now I'm not angry with Keith anymore.
Teresa Gilly was a crucial part of her family farm for more than 30 years. But on April 1st, 2017, her husband Keith took his own life over financial worries.
And we'd lost, I'd say, a good $500,000 in 2 years. And we still have debts to service, so how much of this do you want to continue to do?
Teresa says Keith had many skills that could have brought him a good job off the farm, but all he wanted to do was be a farmer.
He really didn't think he could physically do anything else. He would be just embarrassed that he was no longer farming, that it was, it's just like, no, we're just, and we weren't going to go through bankruptcy. That was not ever going to be the case.
In the aftermath, Teresa had to make many decisions, including what to do with the farm. She chose to keep farming with the help of 2 neighbors.
I've got a lot of sweat equity and investment. I've given my life to this farm, and it belongs to me, and I love where I live, and I have a lot of love right here.
Gilly is a past president of the Minnesota Soybean Growers Association and a current Kittson County Commissioner. She has a strong support system that she relies on.
and just be there. Give a call. There's too many people that say, well, if you need something, give me a call. Be that person that calls without having to be asked.
Near Hallock, Minnesota, this is Jonathan Knudsen for Ag Week.
Jonathan will have more on this story in the upcoming Ag Week magazine. Up next, it wouldn't be Farmfest without a little fun. We'll show you the pedal pull when AgweekTV continues.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com. Total Ag Industries is the leader in total control. The future of ceramic nozzle technology is here today with the Total Ag Air Induction Turbo Nozzle, the only ceramic triple spray nozzle on the market. Works with all sprayers for better weed control and wheel tracks. Are you ready for a longer lasting sprayer nozzle? Call 701-636-4524 with a 100 nozzle order. Get free night lights or 10% off your order.
For over 40 years, Northside Implement has been your Gell and Vermeer dealer in Webster, South Dakota and Lidgerwood, North Dakota. With new equipment including feeding, grain handling, haying, and skid steer, as well as a nice selection of used equipment including sprayers, spreaders, seeding, as well as tractors and loaders. Northside Implement stands behind the equipment they sell with quality service guaranteed. See us for all your repairs and parts, from tillage to skid steer loaders to combines and everything in between. Contact Dave, Lydell, Tom, or Chris today at Northside Implement or visit our website for our complete equipment listing.
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models. With over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily. Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckin's specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
This is Dennis Belisky reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
Kids here at Farmfest got to show off their power at the Kids Pedal Pull. The pull was a daily event at the Farm Bureau Financial Services Rural Lifestyle Pavilion. Kids 4 to 11 pedaled weighted mini tractors as far as they could make it. The top 3 pullers in each age receive trophies and can advance to a state competition. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Ag Week TV here from Farmfest. Remember, for all your ag news, you can download the Ag Week app or go to agweek.com. Also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. See you next week.